Now we're back to 5-on-5. They're put in the front. Corey Stillman scores! Ding, tries are done. Ding, tries are done. Frolik with a wrist shot. Pad save. Rebound the shoot. They score! Richard Sandnick. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Richard Sandnick goes in. Gets at the Booth. He shoots. He scores! David Booth has got the hat trick. Whip it real good. Here comes Zednik now. He's got a loose puck. Puts it back in the high slot. Weiss, he shoots. He scores! I'm never going to dance again.
all very old songs, all very old movie references. Randy Moller is going to join us at 9:30 here live on YouTube, and we will discuss with him when the Stanley Cup Final will finally start. It has.
We're waiting.
We're waiting for it to start. Roy, I don't know how you feel about this. The idea that
yes, you do, Dan.
Well, this part, it's not just losing. It's that all these hockey games are close, and oh my God, they've been outscored 12-4, which basically wasn't even the difference between the Panthers and the entire Carolina series. Hockey games this time of year are not we lose 7-2 because Vegas is doing that to everybody.
Since the game was tied at 2-2 in Game 1, Vegas has scored 9-1. That's when the score.
I'm feeling a lot of wasted goals. It's like, did they need that many? I feel like now they're due to have a letdown. Everything's fine. The series hasn't started yet.
Right.
Call me crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
I'm more confident in the Panthers winning the championship.
Crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I mean, you guys are looking at me like if the Heat lose Game 3 and the Panthers win Game 3, you guys are all going to be agreeing with me. Like, we just got to get Game 3. I agree with you. They've put themselves in a spot where they got to get Game 3. But if they do, everything's fine. Don't panic.
It's the fourth series in a row that you said that.
That I said what?
That you're more confident in the Panthers.
Have they won?
Well, he's been right every series
I mean,
thus
seriously.
far. Yeah.
Right.
It's just I just feel more confident in this Panthers team. I think that they're closer to Las Vegas than the Heat ultimately are if we're looking at the rosters than the Heat are to the Nuggets. I'm not going to panic. The series hasn't started yet. I understand. Bob seems to have lost the hot glove.
Terrible.
And I don't know what we do here. I don't have the answers.
Well, Billy and Stugotz told you what to do here. They were prescient yesterday.
Yep.
We mocked them.
Yep.
This is what happens every time with pioneers, with people who dare to discover. We mocked them.
Yeah.
And they said bench Bob before the game. I mean, nobody would have done worse than 7 goals.
This is not the time to ride the guys who got you here. It is time to play the guys who are going to get you through the finish line, all right? Get you over the finish line, win you the Stanley Cup, okay?
Yep.
You don't
Lord
have time.
Stanley.
Before you think of it, it's going to be too late. You'll be down 3-0, 3-0, third period, series over.
Stugotz with the rare second guess that was the first guess that was asinine.
Yeah.
But what has happened in this series is, the playoffs stink when you don't have the hot goalie.
Did Kachuk have 30 minutes in penalties last night?
Yes.
Or was it 20? That guy's playing like a crazy person right now. We need to settle him down a little bit.
He has 3 10-minute misconducts in the series so far.
That's ridiculous.
Jesus.
Look, this guy has been slingshotted into hockey superstardom where it's not just a Canadian thing. This guy is having a star turn during the playoffs, and now he's just enraged because he liked it a lot better when it's like, I'll score the last goal with 3 seconds left. Join me. I'll run into the tunnel after ending your season, and I'll celebrate away from you because we win all our road games too. Holy shit, it's hard to win in Vegas because it's loud and they got jousts, and their goalie doesn't allow any goals, and ours just allowed 7.
They have jousts.
You can't put me in the penalty box. I'm in People magazine.
Well, those 2 misconducts, I don't understand how those happened. Like, it didn't make any sense. They didn't put a misconduct on the hit. That hit was perfectly clean. Yeah. And the last misconduct, he just knocked the stick out of somebody's hand.
Yeah,
and
but dude,
ref was like, out of here.
When every time there's a whistle, you're jabbing someone in the neck with your glove.
Yes.
It's like a buildup where they're just like, all right, dude, we told you 15 times to stop. He's like a kid where every time he's just always jabbing at people. He does the thing where he like grabs their shoulder pad, but is like punching them in the neck at the same time.
Chris, they started throwing out misconducts in the second period.
I'm just
Well,
saying,
things were getting chippy,
dude,
Roy.
he
They
was
threw out
clearly
11 misconducts in that game. 11.
He was
They're gonna chip
clearly
you here.
frustrated. He deserved like he needed
Yeah.
to. There needed to be a message sent in. He was just being like crazy, too much.
Yeah, too much. The broadcasters are even saying it, Roy. The refs need to get this under control, or it's going to be 5-on-5 at one point in time because no one's going to be left in this game.
Roy, I don't like your attitude. Like, Chris is more positive about your team and has more confidence in your team than you do. You've been waiting for this forever, Roy. Enjoy it, all right? They're coming home.
Roy, if they win Game 3, hey, come here, buddy. Look at me. Come here. Hey, you want a hug?
Get out of here.
Get close to him.
Hey, you're panicked right now. I know you don't want to show us fear.
No.
You
Look
do
at
this
him,
thing
Roy.
where you want to put up like you start talking about 10-minute majors and all this stuff. Hey, we're good.
Misconducts.
We're okay.
Majors.
Whatever, man. Just see, he's
Roy, I'm worried about you because you've gone from wanting all the smoke from every angle to I understand why anyone in the world would be shaken by holy shit, 12-4 this time of year doesn't really happen in difference in goals. The games are close. They're tight. They are. These are evenly matched teams, and for two periods of this series, it felt like Florida belonged. It has not felt like that the rest of the time.
I know what Roy's experiencing and going through right now. I get it, okay? It just dawned on me. Roy is concerned he's not going to get his free trip to Vegas.
Oh, that's what it is. Game 5 and Game 7. You got it, Stugotz.
You're right.
That is what's happened. Stugotz fluent in the language of Roy. Roy is sadder than I've ever seen him as a Panther fan.
No, I'm pissed. I am angry.
Why?
They played they did not have any fight. Zero fight. Zero
I mean,
fight.
Kachuk had too much fight.
Yeah, he had too much fight.
He was the only one with the fight.
The
Wait a
rare
minute,
too
which
much
was
fight
it?
and not enough
Which
fight.
one
yeah.
was it? Did the Panthers have too much fight, or
They
not
didn't have
enough
any fun.
fight? No,
Bad
because
penalties, dude.
No.
That Montour penalty was bad.
That was bad. That was bad.
That was
okay,
so
but
bad.
can you guys please?
How do you know?
Thank you, Billy. I appreciate all your contributions here. Did you watch the game?
Yeah,
or
I
were
mean,
you busy reading up on the original 6?
No, I watched the game, but at a certain point, I said, you know what? I've seen enough here.
Yeah.
And by the way, they had 2 goalies yesterday. They had the one that gave up the 4, Bob, and then they had
Look,
the one that gave up
no,
the 3. And I don't know what we do here.
Billy,
I don't know what it is that we're going to do here.
We've got a crazy
Who
show.
do we turn to?
Yeah.
We got a crazy show.
Spencer
Mike
Knight can't come back.
is bombing in from Vegas, and Amin is here, and we're going to have fun for the entirety of our show today. But I need to expose what's happened here because I see Billy clearly now. I haven't before now. I keep trying to get him into Heat conversations and Panther conversations, and he's just watching, sort of bemused, because his love. No. I'm going to speak for you now, okay? I'm going to speak for you now because I've been very frustrated by this. His love, the beloved Marlins, dragged the Royals, dragged the A's, and he doesn't. I think you're lashing out at everyone on the show because you don't think it's fair that in the middle of everything happening in South Florida sports, the Marlins have a 400 hitter, a guy who gets 5 hits a game that no one is paying attention to, who won a batting title, and the Marlins just dragged the A's, and I think you've got bitterness that makes you worse at work.
Not true.
More anarchy at work.
I
Because
argue
you're
that I've been
frustrated.
better at work than most people here. I've gotten things wrong. I haven't come in pretending I know everything. I just, say what I see. I call it as I see it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong. I don't pretend to have all these sources and pretend to be these journalisms and all these things going out there and then being wrong about everything. I just call it how I see it, and sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong. And I told you, hey, I'm going to keep an eye on the Marlins for all of us. And I've been doing that. Yeah. And I also told you, hey, it's time for them to get fat. And they've been getting fat the past couple of days. They're 3 games back of the Braves. They had back-to-back 4. They overcame a 4-run deficit, back-to-back games, first time since 2001. I mean, they're hot right now, Dan. They're hot. If the season ended today, they'd be in the playoffs, but it doesn't end today. But I'm keeping an eye for everyone because there are other playoffs going on, and people can enjoy the Panthers, and people can enjoy the Heat. And tomorrow, people can enjoy the Marlins half an hour earlier because they moved the game up so that you could see the Marlins and then watch the Heat. Wow. How about that? And you mentioned Luis Arias hitting .399 right now. People are asking, hey, is he going to be the first one since Ted Williams to hit 400? No, but right now he's hitting .399, which is great.
People aren't even asking that.
No, people are asking that. That was the buzz on the interwebs yesterday.
You don't ask that till like August, Billy.
Well, but what is happening is everything else in South Florida sports is too loud. And last night, guys, you're going to need to help me with this because you say the Panthers need to win a game to save their season. It was so loud in Vegas that Devontae Adams was being interviewed and he couldn't hear the person asking him the question and you couldn't hear what he was saying.
Every arena's loud. Enough with that.
Okay.
I
he
could
could
take
hear.
it any arena.
No,
He could hear.
but also, Billy, I wanted to get you in on this because
Yeah.
you had told us a lot is happening, and one of our local news affiliates no longer has a sports department. You told us like a month ago, and I'm watching. The local reporters are under siege in Vegas because two of them have been like drunk Vegas fans come and try to interrupt their live shots, and you're laughing.
That's what happens
I
in
saw what you're
Vegas,
talking
though.
about.
I mean,
That was CBS 4.
yeah.
Yeah, Samantha Rivera, CBS 4, was under attack, and she stiff-armed the shit out of
Great
someone.
defense.
Sorry, I shouldn't have cursed,
Good
but yeah,
for
she
her.
stiff-armed someone right out of the picture. By the way, can we behave, everybody? Can we stop harassing people and trying to jump in front of the camera? Let's just behave.
Clay Ferraro did the same thing. I saw
Yeah.
a clip of him. Someone tried to get in there with a middle finger. They were all over him. He was cool with all the craziness, and he saw one middle finger. He was great. He was just like, hey, get that out of here. Get that middle finger out of here. God's work they're doing.
I don't know about that.
Roy,
Amen.
Roy, you're defeated. You are not well. I'm looking at you, and I don't know. Is it because you're Vegas? You thought on an expense account you were going to Game 5 Vegas to make content. Mike is coming back. I don't even know. That hotel room is alleged to be in Vegas, but we got so little content out of that.
Did you pay off the kidnappers? What happened with that?
Amin is back we're flying Amin all over the place as a correspondent, and what we've got is him in an alley and running around near the arena and interviewing a Utah Jazz center none of us had heard of.
Oh, I'm sorry you guys aren't up to date with the future stars of the league.
He's not a star.
Future star.
You called him a star.
That's because that's how headlines work, Stugotz.
That's right.
Porn stars and NBA stars. That's how it works. Anything you do.
It's a Greg Cote
I
Tuesday.
stand corrected.
Has he talked yet?
We haven't gotten anything from Greg Cote on a Greg Cote Tuesday.
Who needs me?
I forgot he was even here. He's exhausted. He's got a day off tonight from the insanity. Your thoughts on the Panthers and Heat, Greg Cote? Local authority, local expert.
You know what? I'm going to tell you next segment. How's that? That kind of thing.
You're the worst.
This is the new and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
Chris Cote, is there flooding outside of our studio? I'm understanding that we have monsoon conditions between here and the arena, and this is an area that is prone to flooding. What are you, Amin, why are you shaking your head?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to media availability today because there's a river between us and the freaking arena.
This is the most nervous I've ever been driving to work. Like, I could not see in front of me. And, yes, there was flooding in the streets, definitely.
My dad made me order us an Uber for the 3-minute walk from the Brightline station because he doesn't like to get his hair wet.
Damn right I don't.
Yeah.
Best $6 you ever spent. And thank you for that. The guy showed up on time. He had a beautiful sedan, a beautiful car.
Unnecessary details.
Great leather seats. It was a luxurious
Set
ride.
the scene, yeah.
It was a luxurious ride.
Nice.
I felt like a king.
You look like one today because your hair's not wet.
Thank you. Passing all those pedestrians,
Fools.
peddlers,
Did you wave at them?
hoofing it through the
What
rain.
were you saying when we were standing outside waiting for the Uber and you just saw a bunch of people exiting the train, like leaving, and you were just like, people walk. Like, what was it? You were just like narrating.
I was calling them bipedalers, which I love to do.
Do you?
What?
Why'd you lean back right there?
What do you want me to do?
Paint the picture.
I painted it already.
Yeah.
Leather
You know.
seats and all.
I
Painting it.
I'm not the only one who prefers not to walk in the rain. And the weather we're having, you alluded to it, Dan. The weather we're having down here is just like it's Armageddon. It's just
It's
like
like
the world
every
is
year
coming to an end.
when it rains.
No, it's worse.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
it's worse. These are flood conditions. Look out the window now.
The worst you've ever seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We,
Weird.
I had a lake in front of my house a month ago.
Now it's an ocean.
Well, it isn't. It's dried up. But
Oh,
thank
global
God for
warming.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is global warming.
Climate change.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
We're getting more rain than ever, and it comes in bursts, and our areas flood areas that you'd never think could flood. And one of them is right between us and the arena. Good luck with that tomorrow night when the NBA's in town.
Do we have the Meadowlark jet ski?
Ooh.
Ooh, wow, I like that.
Do we?
Yeah.
We were talking last segment with all these flights we're buying. Maybe we just buy a plane.
Wow.
I'm
And
down
way,
for that.
I like
man.
You know,
Yeah.
has one. We can go get Mike in Vegas.
There you
and-
go,
Yeah.
Dan.
Mhm.
You
PJ.
like this.
Put
It just
Dan's
might-
face on it.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
All
let's,
your money.
let's do the
big
math.
plane.
Let's do the math on how much we're spending on all these flights, and let's just see if it, it's a math equation. We'll figure it out.
I like that idea. I like the way you think. What's that cost, a small plane? Any idea?
I'm on it.
I mean, do you think that hand is hiding from me? Are you of the opinion? That I didn't hear?
It's shielding for now, though.
That I did not hear that joke. Are you of the opinion? Are you of the opinion that everyone around here is so clever that you could sneak that joke past me like I'm not Bobrovsky?
Hey.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dan.
I'm glad you're here because I have legitimate NBA questions for you. I want to ask you some. No. We should buy a plane, a giant plane, just to fit
Now
my
you're
face on it.
talking, yeah.
But we're a fledgling network that is getting up off its knees and live for 1 hour now, and hopefully sometime soon, live and on a network and fully funcking.
We are on a network, the DraftKings network.
Without-
Check us out.
Yeah.
Samsung Plus.
KN.
Also,
Yeah.
DraftKingsNetwork.com. You can stream it live. I do it on my TV every morning when I'm not here.
DKN, well said, I mean.
He's
Red eye.
No, but what he's doing, he's still enjoying his joke that a giant airplane would
Making
need to be
excuses.
gianter if it was my face on the side.
I think he just wanted your face on the side so people would know that it was your plane. I don't think he was even making fun of you.
Also, the nicest planes, Dan, everyone knows, is the wide body. You know, that's the one with the lay flat seats.
Yes.
Yes. LeBaJet.
He's right about that.
No, man, that's not a show killer. Go on.
LeBaJet. I think there's something to be said there.
Yeah.
Is it a capital J or not, though? We got to figure that out. Pending.
I'm with you, Greg. We could be like, to the LeBaJet, and then we
Yeah.
all just run up to the rooftop.
It sounds better when you do it that way.
It does.
Yeah.
He's Batman.
To the LeBaJet.
Yes.
I think the Elster, which is where we are, they probably have a helipad up top, right? They probably have. You could probably land helicopters on top of this hotel.
I should probably have asked this in the pre-show meeting or at any other time other than live on air on YouTube. But should we throw like a media mixer on Thursday? A lot of people were asking, like, are you guys throwing anything? And I said, I don't know.
No.
No.
You're just coming and throwing parties and having Dan pay for it? You want to hang out with the media? Just say, let's meet at this bar.
No, but we're hosting this.
Let's call it a mixer, though.
We're hosting this, man. Like this, like we
Hosting what?
the finals.
The Heat are hosting.
Is
it.
your life, Dan, just people coming up with ideas that cost you money?
Yes. Yes.
Sorry.
Build an airport near here.
That's a good thing. Well,
Put
there is one.
a landing strip on
Miami
Bayfront Park,
International.
right across the
Closer.
street.
Buy more things. Yes, that's the solution to everything. Either more things or more people.
Roy was objecting to the date that I picked. I'm like, what's wrong? It's like a nice off day. He's like, that's Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be at the arena.
Roy doesn't want to miss out on the free booze.
But here,
Oh, goddamn right.
Amin is right. You have to understand, Amin is basketball royalty, gritty, inside the machine, and the finals coming to your town's a big deal. Miami's supposed to be a place where it's right across from us. We probably should be doing something because this is a big party that's coming to town here, a pretty important time, and the Heat are, kind of close to becoming the biggest upset in the history of the sport.
And by the way, not for nothing, but like if we want to improve our relationship with sports leagues, this is a great opportunity to get all the NBA people over here. They like free stuff too.
Well, we are having a mixer. It's just tomorrow during Game 3, so it's not ideal for the media types unless they want to come and just mix it up with us.
Well, Billy, that's not
and Dollar Shave Club.
I'm glad. First of all, I'm ecstatic that Dollar Shave Club is doing this. I think it's great that the fans who can't go to the game have somewhere to come to feel close to it, feel that energy. That's going to be awesome. I wish I could be here. Sadly, I have to be at the actual game working. But the other sad part about it is the people that we want to impress, like league office types, they're also going to. No, we don't want to impress them. We want to entertain the fans, but we want to impress the league office types. Bring them over here, show them our digs, show them what we're doing, and maybe next time, we could get a couple more credentials, or maybe get a little better access to things instead of me walking around in alleys and running outside and going to sports bars.
So this is all about having a mixer so you have better access the next time.
That's right.
No, we all have better access, Billy. We're all a team. I don't see us as
it is
individuals.
all an angle for Amin to have an expense account and throw a good time, feel good party at the NBA during a big time and a fun time for the Heat, for the league, celebrating its sport. And Amin, I have basketball questions I want to ask you beyond parties you want to plan with 12 hours of notice.
Little mixer.
Before you get to that, I do want to point out that in my mind's eye.
Is this still not for nothing?
No, it's for everything
Okay.
now.
Okay.
In my mind's eye, we would have this thing on the beautiful pool deck here at the Elsa where we got that bar and it's overlooking the bay and all that stuff. And everyone would be down there. Dan would be down there. Stugotz would be down there. Greg, everybody's there.
So a watch party opposite the one we're actually doing.
No,
in
this
the
is
window.
on an off day.
It's an off day.
This would essentially be a Panthers watch party.
We could do that too.
/ NBA mixer.
We could do that too. We could put the Panthers game on.
Mm-hmm.
But Dan, here's the thing. I want everybody down there. Billy, Chris, Roy. Well, Roy won't be here because
I'll
he'll
be
at the game.
arena. Yeah.
But
I'll be at the game too.
Oh, yeah. Everybody will be at the arena,
sorry.
actually.
Well, then
Yeah, I'll
to
be
hell
at
with
the
you
game as
guys.
well.
But I want everybody who's
Amin
not
alone drinking.
No, I want to come downstairs in a Hugh Hefner bathrobe and
Yes.
welcome. Oh, you guys are here now. Oh yes, welcome, please.
Is this like a quinceañera for you? Like, what is this?
A red
What's
smoking
happening?
jacket,
Yeah.
velvet,
That's right,
like
Greg.
Hefner.
Yeah, and with some slippers on.
Do it up.
Let people know, hey, this is home court advantage here for Amin.
Amin's got it. He's got the idea right.
For Meadowlark.
Nail it.
Yeah, all the ideas around here are, can we have a giant expense account to throw a big party?
You did say it wouldn't be a bad idea.
You
kind
got
of
to
implied
spend
that.
money to make
But
money, Dan.
we're doing one in Wynwood.
How does that make us money?
It doesn't make us money. You drink our money.
No, I drink your money.
It makes us plenty of money, guys. See, you're not paying attention here. No, you're not paying attention. Yeah, exactly, Chris. You bring the NBA elites here.
Right.
That raises our profile. Ipso facto, big business.
Spend
Ipso
10 grand
facto.
on the front end, and that'll come back tenfold.
Well, I don't want to name numbers quite yet, Chris. You know, it might be 10 grand, it might
but
be less, it might be more.
You know what's funny
Probably
about the math that Chris Cote
Definitely more.
This is what is
tenfold?
Chris Cote does
Why
have.
don't we just say 10 times?
Chris Cote does have a good idea because that is the business strategy. I read this. Jimmy Butler's coffee brand. He's like, in the bubble, he was able to sell coffee because millionaires wanted coffee for $20 a cup. And he's like, why can't I sell a $100 cup of coffee? And really, you can go to all your business schools. But if you're capable of selling a $100 cup of coffee, what is it? Is it Big Face Coffee?
Yes.
Did he steal that copyright from me?
From your plane, yeah.
It is a bit of a jerk move. I hope to be the first $100 cup of coffee. It's like, come on.
I don't know. I like it. I like the ambition. I like the vision, right? And that's what I'm trying to bring around here. A little bit of vision. You guys are like, oh, my God, how much is this party going to cost? I'm telling you how much this party is going to make us in the long run.
Mm-hmm. We have Heat players who are here, I think. Like, they're around. I've been told that we're going to get Heat players who will come downstairs from the Elser, which is where we're staying.
But I think Amin is talking about, Adam Silver and, guys like that, Rod Thorne.
Yeah, you got to butter up the bread.
So that's right. You think I got to have some finger sandwiches out for Rod Thorne?
Put it on the poll, Juju. Do we need to host a party for Rod Thorne?
Yeah. Basketball Universe is here tomorrow, and I have serious basketball questions I want to ask you because Monty Williams just got $78 million after Frank Vogel then Frank Vogel gets $31 million, and I'm reading Spo's got 1 year left on the contract. He could command $20 million a year. There are things in the sport that I want to get to with you, not the $100 coffee.
I want to ask Greg because Steve Ashburn of NBA.com asked the question at the press conference with the Adam Silver about should there be a salary cap on coaches? Are coaches getting overpaid?
No, I don't think so, especially Spoelstra. He should demand a
This
lot.
is the new and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
He looked at the clock.
I just received shocking information during the break.
Wow.
Just simply shocking.
We got a plane?
Well, no. But how you guys can manipulate.
Your face could fit on a plane?
How you guys can manipulate me into spending money on things that we shouldn't be spending money on. I was just told Amin has already promised a giant finals media party here in South Florida. He's already told a bunch of people in Denver that he's throwing a big party. He hasn't planned it. All you heard from the planning on what the funding would be last segment when he tried to manipulate his way into it.
Well, promise is such a hard word, Dan.
Yeah.
Like promise. I don't like breaking promises. What I like to tell people is expectations. Expect something big happening. And that way, like, there's no really ties that bind.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you promised people that there was a party yesterday or the day before.
I may or may not have trademarked Meadowlark Media Mixer.
I want to get to your basketball expertise. Mike Ryan has just arrived polluted. Like, he brought Vegas. There was a trail, a wake of Vegas on him. Oh, my God. Did you take a red eye?
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. I got a game misconduct on
Woof.
my way in.
Woof.
You could smell it.
Oh,
huh?
Vegas and hockey and playoffs and red eye and woof.
All of it.
Woof. You just came into the room. Everybody winced.
I freshened up.
You have
This is how I look spry in the
all
morning.
right. This is the fragrance of hockey in Vegas, and furthermore, you cared about that result, and Vegas wiped the floor with the Panthers. But let's bring in, I am so happy to see this dude, and I hate that we're bringing him in right now this minute, down 2-0, and they've allowed 400 goals in the last 6 minutes. Randy Moller has suffered so much covering so much shitty hockey, for so many years. He deserves a moment in the sun. Randy Moller, you have been battered by this sport. You've been battered by ownerships. I am so happy to see that you have survived and that you get a moment that bleeping feels good because you've earned it, buddy. I felt so bad for you the last 25 years of crap you've endured.
Oh, it's a living. It's a living, though, guys. And, you know, the old saying, if you can bend me, but you can't break me. I've seen it all with the Florida Panthers, the ups and downs, the sideways, more downs than ups and that. But it's been a crazy, crazy ride, these playoffs. And even going back to this season, the Panthers just squeaking into the playoffs and that, and then catching red hot and beat 3 of the top teams in the league and find themselves in the finals. But oh boy, they stubbed their toe last night. Roses are red, violets are blue. They got 7, we got 2.
Time for a goalie change, Moles? What do you think?
Time for a goalie change.
Moles, what do you think? Time for a change? Huh? Goalie? Bob, see ya?
No, I think they'll go back with Bobrovsky. You know, he's been so good for them. And a big reason why they're in this position to get to the finals. He had an off night, but the team in front of him had an off night as well. So I think I'd be very surprised if on Thursday for Game 3 that they don't go with Sergei Bobrovsky.
Moller, why are you entertaining that as a serious question?
It was a serious question, Dan.
Let's hear. He was not Bobrovsky last night. He was more play the Barkley sound.
Sergei Bababka.
That was Bababka last night. That was not Bobrovsky.
Was it a good idea for the Panthers to start 7 defensemen last night? Randy, did you hear me?
Roy's in the bed.
What's that? Go ahead.
Was it a good idea for the Panthers to start 7 defensemen last night?
Well, I think, I mean, it's not confirmed, but Radko Gudas is nicked up, and he was a game-time decision. You know, they're just trying to change things up. Casey Fitzgerald that they put in there is a 7th defenseman. He can also play forward as well. I think just trying to change things up, get some new blood into the lineup, and you see that game to game. And I didn't think it was a very big deal, but
but Moller, if I may, real quick, when you say nicked up, like that guy nicked up, like what are we talking about there? They're saying he can't skate the way that he was skating before. That guy nicked up, like when he's a glass chewer. Nicked up means he's what? His femurs don't work.
Yeah, that means he's got a broken bone in multiple areas of his body. That's the way hockey players are. They'll play with broken legs, broken wrists, broken hands, broken cheekbones. They play with it all. So, and then Paul Maurice also said that the reason he went with 7 defense, he wanted to give some of the forwards some more ice time, like Verhaeghe and Reinhart, some of the guys who can be difference makers. It didn't work out, boy, oh boy. So it'll be interesting to see what the lineup is on Thursday night for Game 3.
So people understand your story, though, Randy, without betraying any confidences. You have been a good employee and good face and voice for this team over a legendary amount of time. The worst of it with the Panthers, like when you're looking around and you're like, man, we are poorly owned. Our ownership stinks, or this is not running the way that a top-flight NHL operation needs to run. The story can be told now because you've lived all of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of time. Well, it happens because if you're not generating the revenues back in those days, and it's tough for anybody that's in an ownership position to keep digging into your pocket. That gets old. That gets old. Just like Dad, just like you're having to dig in your pocket all the time to buy Stugotz lunch. I mean, after Amin parties years, that he's promised. Really old. So we've seen it before, and that I'm just glad that the Panthers, the ownership that they have now, the Viola family and their partner Doug Sifu, since they bought this team, over 8 years and almost 9 years now, they've done everything first class, and the revenues are obviously up. The interest, the team has played better. And, of course, this year they've really taken off in the playoffs. But stable ownership by the Viola family has been a big reason why the Panthers have been able to build this team. Basically, when they bought it, they burnt it to the ground and then built it up the way they thought, both on and off the ice.
Explain the 10-minute misconduct situation for Matthew Tkachuk, because I don't believe that either one merited a 10-minute misconduct. Like, the hit was clean on Jack Eichel. Maybe in the scrum they gave it to him. And all he did on the second 10-minute misconduct was knock the stick out of his hand. So can you explain what happened there?
Well, I mean, Roy, I think what happened is the Panthers have played very aggressive hockey so far in this playoffs. In Game 1, there was a lot of scrums, a lot of punching, and extra after the whistle, extracurricular activity, if you want to call it that way. And I think the officials went to both teams and said, listen, if there's any of that stuff going on, we're going to hand out 10-minute misconducts, and we're going to put an end to it. So it was almost like the Oprah Winfrey show where you get 10 minutes of misconduct, you get 10-minute misconduct, you get 10-minute misconduct, whatever. They were handing them out like candy last night. Well, Tkachuk, it plays that way. He plays it on the edge, but now he's already got 3 misconducts so far. And we're only in Game 2 of the finals.
This is the thing, though. The Panthers are, it's okay to say it, annoying assholes. Like, they play like they play. No, that's how they play. They're proud of it.
Randy, is that true? Are they annoying assholes?
They're proud of playing that way. Tkachuk's in here laughing about it. They like to irritate you. They thrive in misconduct. And hockey's trying to get control of the thuggery. Because they like being assholes. Yes or no, Moller?
Well, I don't know if I'd characterize it that way, but they want to play an aggressive style. And if that means it's a little bit chippy, what they're trying to do, and it worked so well in the first 3 series against Boston, against Toronto, and against Carolina, is get the opposition off their game. And you can compare. Remember the Pat Riley New York Knicks, the way they used to play. And even when Pat Riley came down here to Miami, the way that they used to play that aggressive style, they were taking fouls and technical fouls, but they're able to get the opposition out of their comfort zone, a way that maybe they're second guessing what they're trying to do on the ice and make the plays. It worked for 3 series. Right now, it's just not working. The Panthers have to play with a much more discipline. They can't be sitting in the penalty box, or else Vegas is going to run away with this thing.
Moller, this is why we're having you on, and I'm very happy to see your face. Thank you for being such a legend in this market. Let's do the thing that we haven't done in 15 years. Let's rank your top 5 favorite of all time.
Wow.
Randy Moller gold calls that Chris Cote edited out because he was scared yesterday and he was afraid they were a little too dirty, and it's a sensitive time, and Randy Moller wants to do his top 5 gold calls of all time. Are you ready, Randy Moller?
I'm ready.
Number 5, please. We found 4 because Meadowlark Media. Number 5.
He shoots, he scores. Come with me if you want to live.
Okay, that is, we couldn't find the sound to that. We didn't have it. So that was what, Terminator 2? Is that what that line is from?
T2.
That's where it's from. My buddy Arnold.
Now, thank you.
Yes.
And excellent work as always. Number 4, Chris Cote, you're in charge right now. Mike Ryan, getting that seat as fast as you can. Number 4, Chris Cote.
Backhand pass over in the far side. Weiss shoots, he scores! We've got ourselves a bleeder.
What is that from? I don't remember.
There's something about Mary, Ben Stiller.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right. The zipper.
One of my favorite all-time movies. Oh my goodness.
The zipper on the penis.
So funny.
Okay,
It's his balls, fine.
Number 3.
Weiss swoops in, puts it back to the left point. There's deflected. Loose puck right out in front. There's Booth in the back, and he shoots. He scores! You did the motorboat, didn't you? David Booth gets the goal.
Motorboat some.
Wedding Crashers. That was Vince Vaughn saying to Owen Wilson.
Number 2.
McCabe back to Bouwmeester. Over to the far side. Frolic takes a feed from Bouwmeester. Fires. He scores! L.A. face with an Oakland booty.
There's a better one than that.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. That was the fun thing. Remember, Dan, you guys used to throw all of those wrap. She cooked. Mama cooked the breakfast without no hog, and I am so clueless about rap.
Yes,
and I
that's
would just
correct.
Let him go.
That's all right.
Who
Number
it was,
one.
What it meant
steps
and
in.
that. I think it added to it.
Number 1.
Stratson steps in, fires a shot, he scores! Carlos Stratson! And I draw ding-dongs on people!
Why did we do that?
Tracy Morgan.
That's right.
Moeller.
Tracy Morgan.
Great seeing you, Moeller. Good to see you've grown
See you
up.
guys.
Thank you for being on with us.
Greg, which one was your favorite there of all the ones we played?
Love them all. This is the new and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
Chris Cote, I'm going to need a little bit of help in here.
What's up?
This spaceship of ours is taking quite the battering, okay? Amin and Mike Ryan have just flown in from, respectively, Crazy Town, Vegas, and less Crazy Town, but NBA epicenter, Denver, and now the party comes here. The party's here. The sports party is across the street. It is in Sunrise. The big sports are coming to Miami now, and we are the hosts, and Amin and Mike are already in the hungover phase. Roy was missing days of work, getting hungover during the hockey playoffs. We're all headed into the party.
Amin and Mike are going to be fine. They get a day off today, a day to rest, a night to rest, and they'll be back fresh, ready to go tomorrow to party.
We have a spaceship?
They're not the ones I'm worried about. The one I'm worried about is this old dinosaur.
Oh.
He is disoriented. We've had to tell him 3 times, say, Greg, you're doing the show. Put your headphones on. Grab the microphone. You're here now, because he's in his columns. And I'm alleging that the last 3 weeks, beerless weeks of Greg Cote's life, intoxicated only on sports, alcohol, and writing every night, your father, Chris Cote, has slipped quietly in front of us into delirium.
Really?
Into total delirium. Doesn't know where he is sometimes because he's working too much.
Listen, why do I need to put the microphone in front of me and the headphones on before airtime? You know, I'm a professional broadcaster. I know that when the countdown begins to live on air, that's when I do my thing. You know, when the countdown is at 5, I put my headphones on. I appreciate your reminder. Unnecessary. Okay?
Except we often start with them not being on your head.
Wait, just don't remind them the rest of the show, okay?
Like I have to do it often. If I don't remind you, you will not hear us. You will not hear the other room. You will get confused and disoriented.
Right. The sound should come into this room irregardless of, I hate the word irregardless.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just said that. Regardless of the microphone situation. I mean, the headphone situation.
Should be piping in.
Yeah, pipe it in.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
You're
Greg,
right.
you know I love you like my friend's father, but I've
Thank
been
you,
told that you are slightly off the mark where you're supposed to be. There's a blue dot in front of you, and you're about 2 feet off. So they'd ask you if you could
Move the
kind
whole
of
table.
move over because they can't. Oh, yeah, don't move the table because now everyone's off. Yeah.
Now my dot's
Yeah,
off.
no, just drag
Yeah.
the table to where you're sitting. Don't move to the dot. Just drag
Well,
the dot
in
to
Greg's
you.
defense, I mean, these cameras move. They can just move the camera to Greg. I don't
Yes,
want to attack
thank you.
the video team, but you know, I mean,
I was in a better spot before. You know, this is a better spot because I can see everybody.
Right.
Over here, I got to do the swivel thing to see everybody.
Just take the blue dot sticker and just move it.
yeah, move
That's
the
a good idea.
sticker.
Yeah.
Can I
in
do
front
that?
of you.
Rather than
just
move
do
the
that.
table,
Is
yeah.
that legal?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, they're saying please don't,
Please don't
and they
actually
claim
do it.
that
Don't actually do it.
They're getting
No?
very defensive.
Now
They
he
say the
moved it.
lights are in certain spots, and now, oh no,
Yeah.
He picked
Come
it
on.
up.
Oh, no.
What happened?
Because the studio is so well lit.
You're fine. Don't
No,
worry.
we're good.
Yeah.
It's all good. Rumors of my demise have been exaggerated. I am full of pep.
You look great, by the way. I'd just like to say, I don't know if it's the weeks of not drinking, but you look slimmer, less of a gut there.
Thank
Not that
you.
you had one before. You looked great before, but now you look even greater.
Well, we appreciate that, Billy. Thank you very much.
I'm
We're
being
going to
told
get
now-
through it.
I'm being told now we lost total video because you moved that sticker.
What are you talking about? It's a piece of tape. It's painter's
All right,
tape.
if I may, just to explain this to everyone, to the audience, to the video team, to Greg Cote, who I'm telling you have slipped into delirium.
Slipping it.
He looked great, though.
Slipping into darkness.
He honestly, and I don't want to throw stones. He looks like he's throwing a few more on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Who are you to say that?
I know. I just said I threw on the front
I'm
end.
not going to accuse him of weight gain. What I am going to accuse him of is delirium. He is working too hard, doesn't know where he is, thinks he has just killed it, takes a mighty swig, is sitting in the wrong place because he can't be
Talking
controlled.
about- I know where we are. We're at the Clevelander. That kind of thing. I love that sound. Is that a bassoon? What is that sound?
It's a tuba.
Is it a tuba?
I believe it's a
Are
tuba.
you sure?
Yes.
I would be very interested to find out.
Really?
Let's get a musicologist on.
But why do you?
Roy, I don't doubt you. It could be a tuba.
Right.
But I would love to know for sure.
Sounds like you're doubting him.
Yeah.
Well, I go with bassoon.
But that sound means you've done your job poorly.
Well,
No. Well, not the bassoonists. They did a great job. Woodwinds, huh?
I think it's a bassoon.
I love woodwinds.
Yeah. Who do we know who's the music version of Ron McGill that we could have on?
I think it's a buffoon.
To hear that sound and to ID it.
Kenny G is friends with us. Did you see that Kenny G is renting his home to Jeff Bezos, allegedly, for $600,000 a month?
I mean, I heard that, and I think I was the butt of that joke.
That was Billy.
No. Prior to that, I'm going in chronological order here. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Keep up, Dan.
He thinks you're off your game.
I mean, I do want to get some expertise from you on a couple of the following things. The Nuggets were 29-0 when leading by 5 points or more headed into the fourth quarter at home, and then that happened to them last night. Does it mean, or 2 nights ago, does it mean anything?
Well, I think it's important to note that Coach Malone expressed fear of the Heat defense, of the zone defense, to the point of him not calling a timeout at that end of the game. I think Miami has shown throughout these playoffs the ability to come back from big deficits in second halves over and over and over again. I saw the stats somewhere. I don't have it in front of me, but they're 7-6 when they're down 15 in the second half, and the rest of the entire playoffs is like 6-57 or something along those lines. So, I mean, I think there are some takeaways there, but again, as I said earlier in the series, this ain't Joe Mazzulla. This dude is going to make adjustments, and they're going to come out with the proper approach in Game 3.
That leads me to another place I wanted to ask you because I couldn't believe it. I thought I was getting butt cracked. Danny Ainge telling the Boston Globe that Mazzulla is a better coach. Everyone in the organization in Boston thinks it than Ime Udoka. I was surprised that he was willing to be quoted that way. What am I missing in terms of entanglements or agenda that makes him say that?
Where does Danny work? Not with the Celtics. That's all you need to know.
You think he's just doing that so to put pressure so that Boston feels like they have to keep Mazzulla around?
Yes. Yes, because remember, this is a part of a story I don't think has ever been explored properly. Danny was run out of there. Like, that wasn't like, they kind of framed it at the time as like, well, I think this thing is over. But barely a year later, he's the president of basketball ops of a different organization. Danny Ainge is one of the most successful front office guys in the modern NBA tenure, right, in terms of building winners and building consistent competitive teams, right? And he was kind of shoved out the door. And Brad Stevens took his place, and they went and they hired Ime Udoka, who obviously went to the finals in his sole year there. And then now he's been replaced by someone who I think 100% of NBA people would say is not Ime Udoka in terms of coaching. Might be not Ime Udoka in terms of the other things as well. But the part that matters, the part that Danny Ainge is talking about, I don't think anyone would say that Joe Mazzulla is a better coach than Ime Udoka at this stage. Now, obviously, there's growth that happens.
No, but he's saying the opposite. He's saying everyone there would think that. Like, it's just a bold-faced bleep-off Boston lie.
No, he's saying that because he wants to put them in a position. Now, that's the horse you guys bet on? All right, stick with it.
Let me ask you another question here. And, Mike, help me with some – and I want – I'm hesitant to do this, but I want Greg Cody's thoughts talking around some of this stuff as well. Skip Bayless made public, okay, you've for a while now, you've been saying that Jimmy Butler is under strain. You haven't said it on air, but Skip Bayless has now said publicly, and this is a bit of a journalistic breach, and I have to talk around it. He just put something out there that he shouldn't have put out there about just Jimmy Butler's personal life. And now it is out there, and some journalists are being like, this is irresponsible. This is reckless to do that.
It is.
So how do I talk about this?
You just put it on Skip Bayless, and you talk about how reckless it is. I mean, it's something that Jimmy has been dealing with. It people in the market have known this for some time. It's been going on for a bit now, and it's just everybody's respected his privacy. And I was really surprised that, number one, Skip Bayless had the sources to know what was going on because it's deeply personal, and number two, that he went to air with it.
Amin, I don't. Skip Bayless isn't.
How could you be surprised he went to air with it though? It's Skip Bayless.
I mean
nobody else has.
Because you look around.
No one else is Skip.
Because if you hear that news, it doesn't take a genius to realize, well, why isn't this out there? Oh, because people are respecting.
This is when Westbrook gets when Westbrook and his family are fighting with Skip Bayless about stuff, and we wonder about these guys as entertainers. He's going to choose a partner now for the next incarnation of whatever that show is going to be. I saw that LaShawn McCoy or Stugotz are in the running, high up in the running.
Shady.
But this is
which one?
This
me a little more than him.
They actually should go, both of them, McCoy and Stugotz, shady and shady against the shadiest.
Look, what's the last news that Skip Bayless broke? It's probably when he was still a writer, right? Like this is not even his space. Why would he feel compelled to do that?
It was odd. The whole thing was odd. My mouth was kind of like hanging open. Number one, that he knew, and number two, that he went with it. That's not something that you see.
Who's talking to Skip Bayless?
Right?
Who is out here talking to Skip Bayless like that?
I mean, him knowing is one thing, and maybe I should be surprised by that. Him using it on the air and unveiling it to the world, we should not be surprised. And I'm not saying he's Skip, no one else is Skip, like he's great. That's what Skip does. I mean,
but it's not breaches, Stugotz. It's like not there's one kind of thing he does, which is for entertainment. Not privacy breaches. What do you mean? That's what he does. That's not. He doesn't do the slimiest things. It's takes. It's not that.
Dan, if there was a media member who would have released that information, and I gave you one guess, who are you guessing?
I wouldn't have guessed him.
I would have guessed
Really?
Cote.
There you go. You know what? I didn't want to betray JB by reporting it. In all seriousness, it's a disservice to journalism to invade someone's privacy like that. Jimmy Butler deserves to deal with personal issues personally and privately. And to put that out there in the middle of the finals to try to explain why he's had a couple of off shooting games in a row is irresponsible to me.
This is the new and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.